Congressman John Lewis, an icon of the civil rights movement, has said many times, without the press, the civil rights movement would have been like a bird without wings. A lot of news organizations were facing financial challenges before the coronavirus crisis hit. Now we're seeing pretty massive layoffs and furloughs of reporters. Can you talk for a moment about why journalism matters at this particular time, and what impact a loss of journalists could have on all of your efforts?
On March 1st, I had the extraordinary honor of speaking from Brown Chapel AME to commemorate the march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Known as Bloody Sunday, the march across that bridge became a flashpoint in the civil rights movement and really led to the passage of the Voting Rights Act because of journalism, because people were able to see in real time and in their homes the crisis of conscience our nation was facing because of the ostracization and the segregation in our very democracy. Journalists tell the truth. We may not always agree with how they do it, and we may not always agree with the headlines, but their job is to be truth tellers, to lift up information and to provide access to every person so that they can make the best choices for their lives. And as we lose that fourth estate, as we see journalists being pushed to the sidelines, being demonized by our leaders, and being laid off by our industry, what we face is the risk of losing access to our humanity. No one can consume all of the information that is out there, but what journalists allow us to do is to triage that information and, when possible, to take deeper dives into things that do not seem as important as they are. The reason I've focused so deeply on the census is this is a story that is often not told until it's too late. There is no do-over of our 2020 elections, and there is no do-over of the 2020 census. The story told this year is the story that we will have to live with for the next decade. And one of the reasons I'm so excited to come to the press club whenever I'm invited is that I know that you all can tell the truth of who we are and what is to come. And my belief is that we have to stand up for our journalists, not simply standing up for the existence of journalism and for the free press, but defending the people who do that work. We have watched in the last few weeks as journalists have sat in the Rose Garden trying to get the truth from the president about what was happening with COVID-19. And we have seen mocking and dismissal, but we've also seen a refusal to sit down, a continued push for good information, because journalists are the intercessor to ensure that the average person knows what's real and what's true. We may not always agree on the conclusion or what to do with that information, but we deserve the information. And that is why I believe in being as transparent as possible with the press, but also in lifting up the information I can to ensure that we together as a nation can make our best decisions.